Welcome to On Point by Target River, the podcast where strategy meets execution with a little fun. I'm your host, Brian, and each episode will break down what actually works in marketing, sales, and growth so you can stay sharp, focused, and always on point. Let's dive in. Three of us, 1,000 miles to go in a Subaru rental. And along the way, myself and one of my friends were just blown away by all of the incredible views we saw as we tried to hit state park and national park one after another as we drove through Colorado, Utah, and on down into San Diego. It seemed like every place that we turned, every road that turned, presented itself an even more majestic, magnificent view for us to take in. So, of course, we had to pull over and stop and take photos of that. Don't know if any of you remember these, but at places like Disneyland and SeaWorld, Kodak, the camera company, used to sponsor these vantage or viewpoints at the amusement parks where you could get the most iconic photos of maybe Cinderella's castle or a certain ride and stuff. And we jokingly said as we were driving back that these were our Kodak moments that we had to keep taking and stopping as we took different photos. The thing was, this happened again and again and again. At first, it was pretty funny. We started to joke about it, and then it became a little irritating and even inconvenient to the point of a bit tense with my one friend who was kind of like, really, guys? You're seriously going to take another photo of another mountain peak or another valley or another batch of trees that you're seeing out there? And he even threatened us that the next time we get out to take the photo, we better hurry fast because he's going to pull off and leave us there. So we realized maybe we should change things a little bit. But we were chasing the views as we were trying to get home. Now, one of the realizations that we had were the views were incredible, but we really weren't also on a sightseeing trip. You see, the reason we were actually doing this drive is there had been a massive snowstorm that had hit the Rocky Mountains, and the airports in Colorado had been shut down. So our only way back to California for a couple of days was to do this drive. And we decided, hey, let's jump in the car together. I'll deal with Hertz when I get back to San Diego. So our common goal was to get back home. And unfortunately, my dear friend Matt didn't appreciate the same things John and I did. Our goals and visions were a little bit misaligned. So as I think about this with marketing, oftentimes we get caught in what I'll call the next big idea trap. Organizations are constantly chasing the newest platform, maybe ad platform. They're changing slogans midstream or branding concepts and ideas. They're pivoting. There's that word pivot. They're pivoting their strategies every quarter. This didn't work, so this must work, and maybe that. Or maybe they're reacting to competitors that are in their space. At Target River, we often see leaders tempted to abandon campaigns too early, rebrand or remessage without valid evidence that would lead us to want to do that in the first place, and then often shifting messaging because something quote unquote shiny appears. Here's the danger though. Consistency compounds, constant pivoting unfortunately resets. And every reset causes us to slow down and lose momentum. It can confuse your audience, and it can even weaken the trust that you're starting to build with your stakeholders or with your audience that you're trying to communicate with. So a key here is to have discipline to stay the course. The hardest discipline of that day and that road trip was not stopping. Now, we kind of failed at that for a while, and it was the ability to maybe let another majestic view pass by without us photographing it. In marketing, staying with a message, reinforcing key themes, and allowing repetition to build equity are strategies that not only help set yourself up for success, but help you avoid failure. And it helps you from having your momentum interrupted. So the lesson, focus is actually a competitive advantage. The organizations that win in this competitive environment that we have out there are those that have clarity in their objective, commit to the route that they're taking, and resist the distractions that are going to pop up. What's the old saying in the kids' movies? Squirrel, right? Just keep resisting that desire to be distracted. If you stop at every view, you're never going to build enough steam or momentum to get off the mountaintop and back down to the coast in San Diego. So in closing, yes, notice the view, but don't lose the mission. Sometimes the smartest move is to just simply keep driving. Thanks for listening to On Point by Target River. If you're ready to grow your organization with real strategy that generates meaningful results, visit targetriver.com and connect with our team today. Stay focused, stay winning, and stay on point. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening to On Point by Target River. If you're ready to grow your organization with real strategy that generates meaningful results, visit targetriver.com and connect with our team today. Stay focused, stay winning, and stay on point. We'll see you next time.